Hi. Oh, wait. Is my mic on? I think it is. Yeah, it looks like it is. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Happy Cat. Hi. I just uh I used to do this show one more Saturday morning, uh mostly when I had interviews and things lined up, and I just decided, I should probably start to do this a little bit more often. It's a nice way to check in, talk to everybody, share what's going on, because that's kind of what the point of this is. What's happening this weekend, and musically. I'm gonna do the take your time, hang out, tell your friends, go get some coffee. I don't know if anybody's here watching or not. Oh, I see. We still have the message coming up from I always do that. I forget to take those auto messages. Message about our show last week to tip. Oh, hi, Lisa. Okay, someone's saying hi to me. So, okay, I know it's working a little bit. No rush here. Hang out. Kind of, that's my intent here. It's kind of a morning hangout. Let's talk about the shows. Let's talk about the music. And oh, this is kind of funny, actually, because I just went on Facebook on my phone here just to see if the stream is live and if it's working and all. And I just got a notification. This is a timely notification. It said it's the 11th anniversary today, the 11th anniversary of my group that I set up called the Fans of Ross Motherfucking James. Okay. I changed that a little bit a few years ago when he had his son Oren. His wife had the baby, and Ross did his part, of course. But when their son was born, I changed it to Ross Baby Daddy James. But really, he had earned the MF title. But I've changed it back in the group for those of you that are a member of the group on Facebook, Fans of Ross MF James. And I don't know if I should break this news, but I'm just gonna say that congratulations are in order again, Ross. I doubt you're watching this, but number two. Anyways, so just kind of a funny little coincidence there, part of the news here. All right, let me just go see what else is going on here on the Facebook. Are there people watching? Talk to everybody. Oh, look, now I'm watching. Now I'm watching myself. Okay, there's a few people in there. And this is also live on, or it should be, on a few other Facebook pages, on my personal page and on the various Deadheadland pages. In theory, I'm live on Twitch right now, Deadheadland, twitch.tv/Deadheadland. On YouTube, which is youtube.com/DeadheadlandFilms. Long story there, and someday maybe I'll share it as to why that's Deadheadland Films versus just Deadheadland. But everywhere else on social media, Deadheadland. And so a few things going on. First off, last night was the first night of the Terrapin Roadshow in San Rafael, and it was just really spectacular. At this cute little amphitheater that's at Dominican University, just off 101 there in San Rafael, about maybe mile and a half, 2 miles north of where the original Terrapin Crossroads site was. And for me, about a mile and a half or mile south of where my office is. For those of you that don't know, my day job for the last 30 years is I'm a massage therapist here currently in Marin County for I guess it's been about 13 years, something like that I've been in Marin, originally from Southern California. But I have my own office, and that's just up there. So it's in the neighborhood. And what was really interesting is so many people, almost everybody, except for Graham Lash, everybody had said, I've never been here before. I didn't know this was here. People that live within blocks or a mile or so of the place had never been there. Normally it's the home of Marin Shakespeare Company, and they do lots of productions. And in fact, Graham yesterday said that he had just seen Midsummer's Night's Dream, and that The Tempest is their next production. And I'm a theater major, actually, originally back when I was in school. I think I'm still in school. Oh, no. I have some assignments due. But I was a theater major, so I love Shakespeare and love theater. And so I definitely want to go check this out. I've always known there was a Marin Shakespeare Company, but this is the amphitheater they normally use. and it's small. It's cute. It's maybe 500 people, so maybe like a kind of the size audience we'd have maybe in the backyard at Terrapin Crossroads, a little bit more, just a little bit bigger than what would fit into the great room. And there were lots of really wonderful people there. So many familiar faces, members of the Terrapin Nation, from all over. People I know that came from far away. Have a friend that came down from the Pacific Northwest. We have friends from Southern California. I saw people from Arizona and Nevada. So people came. I'm sure there were people from further away than that. San Francisco and the Bay Area, all around Oakland and Santa Cruz. There was a lot of people there, and a lot of familiar faces for those of you that were regulars at Terrapin Crossroads. So that was really great to see. And musically, it was pretty outstanding. It was extremely outstanding. The core band, for those of you who didn't know, or is for each night, the core is Graham Lesh and Stu Allen. And of course, Stu is a major figure here in the San Francisco Bay Area Deadhead music scene. Stu Allen and Mars Hotel. Stu will be playing at Jerry Day. Stu Allen and Mars Hotel. Jerry Day is a big thing, and that takes place August 2nd, Saturday. For those of you that don't have Dead & Company GD60 tickets on Saturday, Jerry Day is free. It's usually a pretty big crowd as it is, and I think there's going to be a lot of people in from out of town, and Jerry Day is an amazing thing. Melvin Seals and JGB also play a set. They usually play like a long set, and then Stu Allen and Mars Hotel plays a long set, like usually a couple hours each. And then they usually have an opening band that's not always a Grateful Dead band, but a Grateful Dead adjacent band. I believe like last year, I think it was Elliot Peck and Graham Lesh, and I think a couple years before that it was Jeff Pearson and Boxette. And anyways, so they haven't announced. It's TBA for who the opening band is, Jerry Day. But anyways, back to the Terrapin thing. So Stu Allen, Graham Lesh are the core of the band, and then they last night had Sunshine Garcia Becker on vocals, which is wonderful, and she was awesome. And Sunshine got to do the lead on Crazy Fingers, which was really, really sweet. And of course, I've got video clips of a lot of this, and I've got full video of both sets that I'll share, probably not today, but soon. Deadheadland patrons, by the way, the people that actually give me $1 a month or more to support what I do on Deadheadland, you guys are going to get a preview of it. I'm going to share the video with you guys first, but everything I film and video and do in the long run, it's for the Deadhead community, and it's to share with everyone. So it's hard for me to do exclusives because it's just not the Deadhead way, and I want to put stuff out there, and I make recordings for posterity, for history purposes, and we'll get to that because I have a lot of video stuff. But so back to the band listing. I'm sorry. Graham, Stu, Sunshine on drums, Sean Nelson, a great Bay Area drummer as well, big part of the Terrapin community, played in so many different bands over the years. Then we had on keyboards, Scott Guberman, my good buddy Scott. Hey, Scott, fantastic keyboards. And Scott got to, he did vocals for Walking Blues, which was cool because, it's Bobby song, so you don't expect the keyboardist to do that, but he was great. Scott does a lot of stuff, a lot of Grateful Dead stuff. And what's really cool about Scott Guberman, he plays, he tours with like the Gilmore Project and the Dead Brothers. And he plays a lot of different music, but Grateful Dead is his specialty, and particularly Brent. He also does Keith, does Vince. One of probably the only people that does the Vince songs, but the Brent songs, and just really sweet. Scott got to do Tons of Steel, 900,000 Tons of Steel, which, hey, you may or may not like it. I know it wasn't everybody's most favorite Grateful Dead song. It's one I've always personally liked. And so that's where I'm going to start off today. I want to play some clips from last night. This is kind of new that I'm doing this, so I just pulled this all together this morning, so it's not as organized in real life as it is in my brain. but I did get a couple of clips lined up, and one of them was a clip of Tons of Steel. So let me see if I have that here, and we'll check that out for a minute. Where did it go? Oh, I did all this really creative stuff. Oh, I'm going to just play my show intro for you again first, for those of you that just joined now and didn't see it, because I'm really kind of proud of this, and I think it's kind of cute. This is my intro for the show, One More Saturday Morning. All right. I should probably have a contest or somebody or something for anybody that can identify where that particular One More Saturday Night clip is from. I will give you one hint right now. I'll give you two hints. It is Phil Lesh on bass. It's not the Grateful Dead. That's all I'm going to say. But if anybody can guess, I'll tell you what I'll do. If anybody can guess what that clip is and who's playing on that clip, or at least the main lead guitar shredding at that moment, I will. I'll do something cool for you. What will I do? I'll give you a Deadheadland sticker pack, a pack of like a bunch of my stickers that I have, various Deadheadland stickers. Okay, if anybody can guess that, so I'll look in the chat or message me. But anyways, the Scott Guberman clip. I think I have it. I think I figured out where it was. One moment. I'm making this up as I go along. I don't have an engineer here. Here we go. Oh, is it that one or that one? Or that one? Oh, man, I should, it's new software. I'm just figuring it out. No, that's the old Deadheadland intro. Not old, but the one that I normally use. Okay. It's got to be one of these clips I just uploaded, so I'm going to go with this one. Many years ago, here beside stands my man, a soldier from love to him, who came through many fights, lost and story well. That was a clip from Terrapin. So it's got to be the other clip I uploaded because I uploaded two. So we'll come back to that. I realized when I watched that I forgot to introduce the bass player as well because I went off on Scott Guberman. Scott Patton, or Scott Griffin Patton. Scott's a really cool guy. He's a fantastic musician, one of my favorite bass players, really, and just a funny guy, and great sense of humor, like really great. Has done a few comedy videos and stuff. He's a sound technician that works all over the country. He was one of Phil's people. He traveled with Phil at Cap Theater and all over the place, festivals everywhere. Being Phil's bass tech and sound person there specifically for Phil, part of Phil's crew, along with Brian Rashap and a few others that were like Phil's like direct people. And he's like I said, a great bass player, and he's in the band Goodnight Texas, which is a fucking awesome band, and highly recommend Goodnight Texas with Scott Patton. They're very cool original music, great lyrics. Avi Rincor, I think is how his last name's pronounced. Does a lot of the songs, sings a lot of the songs. Just they're great. Really thoughtful, fun. Highly recommend Goodnight Texas when they come by you. So Scott Patton on bass. So really quick, once again through the band last night, it was Sean Nelson on drums, Scott Guberman on keyboards, Scott Patton on bass, Stu Allen on guitar, Graham Lesh on guitar, Sunshine Becker on vocals. And then they had a bunch of guests. They had Greg Loyacano from Mother Hips came out and did a song. John Chi, a great local Bay Area guitar player as well, came out and did a few songs, did a song in the first set and did a couple songs at the end, came out with the encore. Did a great version of Willin', which I was trying to get that video uploaded to share on the show tonight, and it wasn't quite ready, but I will have that. So Willin' and who else did they have? Oh, and Reed Mathis. Reed Mathis, who the world got to know as a bass player originally from Jacob Fred Jazz Odyssey, and then he was with Tea Leaf Green for years, and then with Seven Walkers with Bill Kreutzmann, and Billy and the Kids with Bill Kreutzmann, and amazing bass player. But he's made a bit of a shift and a transition into being more of a guitar player in the last few years, really, I think, since the pandemic, maybe just a little bit before. I maybe saw him on guitar a few times, but he's great. And Reed played one of our concerts, one of the shows that I produced, Deadhead Land Presents. I do small local private backyard parties, most of you probably know. So he played at our show just last Sunday with Scott Guberman as well, and with the amazing, incredible Anna Elva on drums. And so Reed is great, and he came out for a couple of songs, and one of the things certain artists he just has focused on and he's really great with, and Bob Dylan is one of them. So he did a couple of Dylan songs last night, did Isis at the end of the first set. First off, that's a very interesting song choice, I think, for the end of a set, Isis. And Reed just did a fantastic job of it. And then it came out also at the end of the second set, and I'm sitting here. I should have it right in front of me. Of course, I said I'm going to review the set list, and I know I posted it up to social media, but anyways, I'm being was it Tangled Up in Blue? Anyways, he does. Yeah, I believe so. He does this great Dylan stuff. As I'm looking, for whatever reason, my stream didn't necessarily work quite right, so I'm not live on YouTube right now. I think I'm only on Facebook, on various Facebook pages, and that would explain some of my confusion here. But anyway, so Reed Mathis came out and did several songs as well. So they had guests, and they're going to repeat that format tonight, where they've got like on the lineup a bunch of musicians. Graham and Stu, and I happen to know my friend Scott Law will also be playing as part of the band today. Stu's awesome. We love Stu Allen, and what I love is that Stu is very giving to other players. So Stu is not dominating the Jerry songs, and he's very generous with letting others share them. And so I don't believe it's going to be one of those kind of shows where strictly somebody is Jerry and somebody is Bobby. So we'll see what happens with Scott Law, but I think it'll be a really good mix. I'm sitting here pulling up the actual website so I can give you the lineup for today. So today's lineup is Stu Allen, Graham Lesh, Jason Crosby, the wonderful Jason Crosby on keyboards, Alex Koford, matching drums, but Koford also does play some guitar, although I don't know if I see another drummer here, but he plays guitar as well, and also vocals. I mean, Alex Koford just has a wonderful, amazing voice, and certain songs that he does better than anybody. A lot of Jerry stuff. He's so deep and soulful in his presentation. Scott Law, as I mentioned, Brian Rashap. I'm imagining Brian will be on bass. Amazing bass player, Brian Rashap. He plays with San Geronimo. He's in the Mother Hips. He plays with he plays in a lot of different bands. Everybody plays in the Grateful Dead combos like Danny's Live Dead and this and that, mixes it up. He also plays in one of the Deadhead Land occasional bands. In fact, right there in a row, right there, we got Alex Koford, Scott Law, Brian Rashap form a band called Tripcord that have done a couple of shows, Deadhead Land concerts. And then Elliot Peck and Tim Bloom. And the opening band, I should say, yesterday the opening band was San Geronimo. Today the opening band is Midnight North. Now, I know I'm hyping this show up today because I'm really excited that this is happening, this Terrapin reunion and the Terrapin Nation. But today's show is pretty much sold out. I'm not telling you to come. I didn't see a lot of people with extra tickets at the show yesterday. I know there was all sorts of tickets being traded and offered and such in the days leading up to the show. But it's a small amphitheater. There's probably not a lot of extra tickets. So the good news is that there's, going to be more. And I'm going to do my best to make a recording for you all like I like to do. And but really excited for today's show. Great combination of people. And then they're doing it again tomorrow. And tomorrow is Stu, Graham, Holly Bowling, Eric Krasno, Danny Luring, Pete Sears, Barry Sless, Alex Jordan, and Mookie Siegel. I mean, just an incredible lineup right there. That you got Pete and Barry. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And then there's another one of these. Oh, and tomorrow, Sunday, the opening band, Mark Caron's Buds, which is Mark Caron from Rat Dog and the other ones, and Jemima Puddle Duck, and currently with the Third Mind. And but this is his band, Mark Caron's Buds, which is him, Scott Guberman again, the wonderful Anna Elva, and the bass player does. They have a couple of main bass players, but I don't know who's playing bass tomorrow. So I'll find that out tomorrow because they sometimes switch up bass players. I think their main bass player, Bob Gross, I think he lives in Southern California, so he doesn't always play. So that's tomorrow. Now, there's another one of these coming up. I'm trying to find the exact date here. Oh, it's August 17th, and that one's out in Truckee. Keep on Truckee. And that one, of course, I'm super excited about because it's got Ross James on guitar and Jackie Green on guitar, and Jeremy Honig on drums from Melvin Seals JGB, and JP McLean on bass, also from Melvin Seals JGB. And so that one, there are still tickets available. So if I am getting you excited for these things and the Terrapin Nation reunions, then come to Tahoe next month or Truckee, in that neck of the woods. So that's still available. And that said, I actually have a Deadhead Land concert that we just announced, and that is actually on sale to the public. We did a little pre-sale tickets to the regulars, and this is a private venue. It's someone's backyard that we use. We call it the Plaza Music Garden, and if you visit it, you'll see why it has that name. Beautiful little spot, my friend's backyard, and we do a show there once a month or so when the weather's nice. And our upcoming show, which will be the Friday before we're going up to Truckee. So it's in Mill Valley, California, Friday, August 15th. And that's the Day Trippers featuring Rowan Brothers, Chris and Lauren Rowan. And Brother Peter's always invited, and he has come to one of our shows and played, but we're not expecting it. I'm not saying that. But of course, he's always welcome. But Chris and Lauren, who are just absolutely wonderful gems, beautiful harmonies, beautiful energy, and great guitar players, and great sense of humor, great presentation of the music. And then their band, they're called the Day Trippers, full band there, bass, drums, guitar, Eric McCann on bass, Matt Willis on drums. We've got Dory Collar as an extra guitar player who's also going to be our sound tech. And that show is available for sale, and you can come to it. And if you buy a ticket, $33 1/3, a little joke there, for a GA ticket, or 45 RPM, $45 for the VIP ticket. And the VIP ticket gets to come in early and first pick a seat, then hang out and chill a bit, and also gets a show poster. Anyways, that's for sale, and I've got it posted all over on Deadhead Land, and so that's open to the public. That's coming up. There's all sorts of stuff coming up. If I encourage me, please, but if I keep doing the show as a regular Saturday morning thing, which has been an idea in my head for like a gazillion years, and it gets me going in the morning, gives me an excuse to get up and do stuff. I'd like to give like a upcoming show calendar, but just off the top of my head, what else is coming up? Well, as I mentioned, Jerry Day on August 2nd, and that's at the Jerry Garcia Amphitheater, which is in the Excelsior district of San Francisco, which is like the area part of town where Jerry Garcia grew up. And actually, I think it's maybe the day before, but they're renaming the street Harrington Street, which, do I even have it right here? You all know Jerry Garcia's book, Harrington Street. I'm looking at my bookshelf right here. I might even have the book within reach, but I don't see it right now. But they're renaming it Jerry Garcia Avenue, which is wonderful. And kind of weird also because the book, and we all know the name Harrington Street, but it's awesome that the city of San Francisco is doing that, and that's part of the Jerry Day celebration. And so that I believe they're doing that on August 1st, which is Jerry's birthday. August 1st, 1942, Jerome John Garcia, or is it John Jerome Garcia, who changed all of our lives. Wouldn't even be talking to you right now if it wasn't for that guy. And this guy. This is the cutest little Jerry Garcia book that I got. My friend Hugo, hi Hugo, down in Southern California, on his birthday many years ago, it's probably 20 years ago on his birthday, he bought all this stuff, all this Grateful Dead miscellaneous stuff, and gave out gifts at his birthday party. And anyways, I got this little mini Jerry book, which I understand is out of print and a bit of a collector's item right now. But anyways, my tangent there. Jerry's birthday weekend, the August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. What else is going on that weekend? There must be something. There's so many things going on that weekend. There's the GD 60 shows, Grateful Dead 60, of course, everybody knows, with the, who are those guys? John Mayer and friends? Dead and Company. You know, Bob and Mickey and John Mayer and O'Teal and Jeff Chimenti. Really, he's the star. They should just settle it and call it the Jeff Chimenti Band, and we'd all be a lot clearer on what's going on, because he's Jeff. Anyways, I love Jeff Chimenti, obviously. I always think that everybody's a great musician, but there's certain people that just take things to the next level for whoever they play with, and Chimenti's one of those guys. And I remember going to further concerts, and there'd be times I'd be so lost in what Jeff was playing, and I go, oh my gosh, he's like almost taking me to places that Jerry did more than anybody else. I mean, he delivers in that way. Anyways, so the Dead and Company shows, and I know a lot of people are going, and a lot of people are coming to town. The shows kind of fell into place for me in the last week. I'm doing a volunteer thing on Friday where I'll be helping with a booth there on Participation Row. I'll be working for Sweet Relief, so please come by and say hi, and find out some information. Go to all the booths in Participation Row and learn something, and pick up some brochures or tchotchkes or whatever's going on there. And so I'll be doing that Friday, and then I get to hang out, for the second set, I get to go out and dance, after doing my work there, which will be fun. I'll still be there, and I'll hear Billy Strings in the first set, I'm sure. Saturday, I'll be at Jerry Day, so I'm not doing the Dead and Company. This is just my schedule. And then Sunday, a very, very kind new friend of mine has given me a miracle ticket for Sunday, so I'll be just going and enjoying the show, going in early. Don't want to miss the Trey Anastasio band opening. And then Dead and Company for the Grateful Dead 60th celebration. So I'm sure that'll be great. Also happening that weekend, I'm sure most of you know, is a million after parties and after shows. There's so many good things. Danny's Live Dead is doing a series at the Balboa Theater, which is walking distance, really. That might be the closest, easiest show. And Danny Luring, local drummer who's from San Geronimo and the band San Geronimo. I think he actually lives in San Francisco, but he does this thing called Danny's Live Dead. It started just after the when we could start gathering again during the pandemic, when they started, you still had to mask and limited amount of people and social distancing and whatever, but he started doing this weekly thing at the Paper Mill Creek. I'm pointing, it's that way, out in the San Geronimo Valley, out in Forest Knolls, Jerry Garcia. There's all these things interconnected, we won't dwell on that aspect, but in that area, Paper Mill Creek, a historic old bar. He started doing it there. Paper Mill went through some ownership change, and they kind of had to close down for a bit, and they haven't reopened yet, but they will, I heard. But he moved it to here in Fairfax. I gesture a lot, right up the street there, about 10 minutes walk from my house, at Perry's Tavern. And every Wednesday night, I think it was Tuesdays for a bit. No, it's always been Wednesdays. He's been putting together a great band of players. Frequently, a lot of the names I've already mentioned a million times. Scott Law and Brian Rashap and Mookie Siegel and Johnny Mojo and all the different guitar players and bass players and drummers. Well, Danny's the drummer. But keyboard players, etc., who all learned under Phil and at Terrapin how to play with each other, how to just kind of jump into a band and create Grateful Dead music, and they're all so good at it. So anyway, so Danny's Live Dead, he's got a few different lineups for 3 nights or 2 nights, and I think one night is the Garrett Galoyan band, which is just a variation there, and same people, different name, I guess, but they'll be doing it at the Balboa Theater. Of course, there's the big thing that Graham Lesh is doing, the Heart of Town, which that'll be over, I think, more Pier 41 or something. It's more over towards AT&T Park, where if you ever saw Dead and Company like 2 years ago when they did their end of final shows, well, their final touring shows, we'll see. I don't mind if they play again. I don't hold that against them. I think it's kind of cute. But and I know people that say, no, they can't tour because they said those are the final shows, whatever. But anyways, out there, Pier 41, Graham is doing this big thing where there's kind of like what they're doing this weekend at Terrapin. He's got a lot of musicians who are going to be doing 3 nights. The Thursday night pre-show one starts at a reasonable hour, like 7 or 8. And then all the other nights are going to not start until after 10, till after the Dead and Company shows, and probably go till 3 in the morning, I would guess, because there's so many people playing. And Graham's gotten really good at this, so it'll probably be a core band with different musicians stepping in and out for different songs. Different lineup each and every night. I won't read through all the names on that. So that's also going on that weekend. And for those of you who are coming to the Bay Area from out of town, there's a ton more shows. There's stuff all week long, the days between. I'm kind of a stickler for that. To me, there's Jerry's birthday, and the 9th is the day of Jerry's passing. So to me, the days between are the 2nd through the 8th, and I'll fight you on it. No, I'm literal that way maybe, but those are the days that are between. The other days are at the end. Anyways, doesn't really matter, but it's just one of my things, pet peeves or non-issues that I make an issue. But during the days between in the Bay Area, I'm not even going to begin to list it, but there's tons of shows like every night of the week. I mean, there's always tons of music here every night of the week anyways. It's a great place to live if you love live music, great place to visit. For me, it's a bit of a pain because there's more music than I can actually see. But I get invited to a lot of things that I can't do because I work. I actually have like 2 jobs, and I'm doing my best to keep my house here going. And I've got this really nice house that I just rent, and rent is expensive. So I have to work a lot, and I can't go to as many shows as I want. That said, part of my work is Deadhead Land, and that's the part that I love the most and pays the least. And the only way I get payment on Deadhead Land is if you really right now from the people that send in tips or contributions or subscribe as a patron, give me a monthly subscription, $1 or so a month. So patreon.com/deadheadland. This is my little plug for that. And the more that I can get supported doing that, the more I can focus my time and energy on sharing all this video footage, because I don't have just the videos from last night. I've been actively recording the local Bay Area video music scene, Deadhead focused, but not strictly Deadhead, for like 15 years now. And for all the thousands of videos I've shared, there's probably like 5,000 or 6,000 that I haven't shared. I don't know if I'm exaggerating or not, because when I start going through my videos, I have a lot. One of my big focuses recently has been to save the Deadhead Land live video archives. I streamed a lot of shows to Facebook, kind of like how this is streaming to Facebook right now. I did that because people like to watch things live, and a lot of people asked, are you going to stream? Are you going to stream? Are you going to stream? And we'll go into the history of how it happened. But for the longest time, they didn't really let me do stuff at Terrapin or film, or, I've never had any official thing there in the past. But I did stream a lot of shows, a lot of brunch shows, a lot of great room shows, a lot of backyard shows, a lot of stuff other people may have captured. But there are some things that I'm really the only one that filmed it. And the stuff, I did video a lot of stuff that I have saved on hard drives, but the things that I streamed to Facebook, I thought would just be there on Facebook forever. And Facebook changed their video storage policy. Those of you that have live streams know that Facebook sent you messages, many of them saying, download your live videos because we're going to delete them. And I was so worked up about a month ago because I was just hadn't gotten this all done, and I have thousands of videos that I streamed to Facebook that are really like the history of Terrapin Crossroads, and tons of Phil Lesh videos that they're, even if the quality's not good, they're important to me, and I don't to a lot of other people. They're important videos. So that was why I was all panicked about a month ago. For those of you that remember, I was begging for donations, and I can still use them, honestly. I need some support so that I can focus on this. Because I had a July 30th deadline, or June 30th, I had to have all those videos completely downloaded off of Facebook. Facebook Meta powers that be have given me and many other people an extension now to the end of August. But because I had that earlier deadline, deadlines work. They motivate people like me. Unfortunately, I'll slack on things forever until I have a deadline. I know a lot of other people are like that too. Maybe you. But because there was that deadline, we got to I'd say maybe 70%, maybe a little bit more. Actually, we downloaded and organized and cataloged. Then we've taken a break, and me and one guy that's helped me a lot, a couple people that helped me a bit as well. We're going to get back to it in the next week, and we have until the end of August to finish downloading all the videos. Once I've downloaded them and archived them onto a hard drive and backed up to a cloud source somewhere probably, I want to share them, and I want to share them here on, not really on Facebook so much, but move them to YouTube, move them to the Patreon for the supporters, find ways to get the videos out there, maybe create shared folders, G drives and Dropboxes that people can actually just download them from. Some of them you might not like. Some of them are amazing. I've been just so excited and moved by some of the videos that I forgot that I captured, and or some of the things I forgot that I streamed, or maybe I set up a camera to stream and then my head was somewhere else. But I'm a deadhead. You're deadheads, most of you, I imagine. It's fun to watch this stuff. It's important to watch this stuff to see the evolution. And to be honest, I can't ever watch enough Phil Lesh videos. I miss the guy more than words can tell. And, it's a blessing that I got to see him so much. I know more than most, and was never taking that for granted. Was always reminding myself how grateful and special this is. Those of us in the Marin area, the Terrapin Nation, that got to spend a lot of time with Phil at Terrapin Crossroads. Most amazing and special thing that could have happened to a deadhead, really. And now that it's gone, it's nothing's going to bring it back. But thankfully, deadheads like to tape. And my version of taping was streaming and videoing. And anyways, my intention is to share that, not to hoard it. And those of you that have videos of Phil, of other things, if the main thing is the sound. If it sounds okay, might not sound the best, but if it sounds okay, we can listen to it. Even I have some videos where honestly the video is crap, but the sound is good and they're worth playing. In fact, I have a video lined up, I think, that's going to, at 11:15 today, I'm going to stop talking before then. It's 10:45 Pacific time right now, 10:46. I'll stop talking, but I have a brunch from Terrapin Crossroads lined up to stream at 11:15. Hopefully it'll work. It should be on Facebook and YouTube. But it's a restream from a show about 6 years ago, from July 19th, 2019. Pre-pandemic, electric brunch with Stu Allen, Scott Law, Mike Pascal, Fat Jimmy himself, Jimmy on bass, and Danny Luring again on drums. And so that I've got the first set lined up for 11:15 Pacific Daylight Time. Hopefully that works. I'm trying to use this software, Streamlabs, Talk Studio, and other, where I can set up a stream that'll just play. And there's different ways I can share videos. I've done premieres on YouTube. I will still be putting stuff on Facebook, but I'm going to be relying on that less and less. And I am going to start getting more stuff onto the Patreon as exclusives, at least temporary exclusives. Like I say, I think it's not, nobody wants to hoard stuff. We want to get the music out there, but I might give some temporary exclusives where they can see that first. Anyways, that's what's going on with the Deadhead Land Archives. Lots of upcoming stuff. Like I said, the GD60 shows and all sorts of other things. My Deadhead Land concert on August 15th, the Day Trippers with Chris and Lauren Rowan. The next Terrapin Roadshow, the last one of the year, which will be that Sunday. So that's August 17th. I should write this stuff down. I'm reading it. I'm going off the top of my head. August 17th in Truckee. I also wanted to mention August 10th at Rancho Nicasio. I realize this is mostly local stuff, and some of you are watching from other places, but Graham Lesh's band Midnight North is playing with Lebo and Friends. Have I gone this long without talking about Lebo? People that know me know that my favorite guitar players that I like to talk about a lot: Lebo, Ross James, like I've mentioned him about 50,000 times today, Stu Allen, Scott Law. I mean, these are my guys. These are, I'm fortunate they're actually friends of mine, but musically, that's what I crave. That's the stuff I like to listen to. Of course, Graham Lesh. I love Graham's playing, and Alex Coford and all these guys. These are kind of my favorite musicians, and they're all the local guys. And anyways, Lebo from ALO will be playing with them, Lebo and Friends. I don't know who his lineup is. He's done all sorts of different lineups with Lebo and Friends, but I imagine some of Midnight North will probably be part of his friends, Elliot and Graham. And sometimes he's got Natalie Cressman, and sometimes, all sorts of different people have been the Lebo and Friends when he does that. So I didn't look. I don't know who the lineup is this time. But that's a show August 10th at Rancho Nicasio. A great venue, barbecue, outdoor, summer vibe, cool place. So that's kind of my sloppy upcoming show calendar. Lots more stuff. Stu Allen, of course, is doing regular shows at the Ashkenaz. One more time, a plug for Jerry Day, August 2nd at the Jerry Garcia Amphitheater there, McLaren Park. And what else? I'll look in on the chat because I've just been rambling. All right, hello. All right, hey Steve Abrams, good to see you. And all right, anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling because I did talk a lot. I'm gonna get myself a coffee. I figured out which clip is the Scott Guberman clip because it wasn't the clip I played before, which was the Stu Allen clip. So the Terrapin clip. They started the second set yesterday with Terrapin, but they really only did Lady with a Fan. They didn't do anything else. They teased, Graham did a little tease of Terrapin in Cumberland. I'm pretty sure I heard that. Cumberland was the final song, the second encore. The encore was Willin' with John Shee, and then Cumberland Blues with everybody. And there was a little like Terrapin tease in the Cumberland. I know I heard that. But they didn't finish it. They only did Lady with a Fan. So my guess is tonight they'll probably do Terrapin Station out of something. Lady with a Fan and Terrapin Station, which is the Terrapin Station inspiration, Move Me Brightly. And what would be really cool in my fantasy mind, within tomorrow night, the third night, with a completely different band, to do the whole Add a Siding Terrapin Flyer refrain, the whole rest of the suite. That would be kind of cool. Terrapin sandwich show for the Terrapin Roadshow. That's my prediction. Okay, place your bets. And anyways, let me play that Scott Guberman clip. You guys, if anybody posts anything in the comments, I think we're just on. Oh, hi Diane, I love you too. Thank you. You're so sweet. I think the YouTube didn't work, so I think we're just on a bunch of Facebook pages and on Twitch. And I do Twitch. Nobody watches me on Twitch, but I do Twitch. If you ever do Twitch, go over and just become my follower there so I can build something there. But nobody really watches me live on Twitch, but I'm trying. All right, video clips. Here we go. All right, so if it wasn't that one, because we played that one and it was Stu, I'm going to guess that this one is Scott Guberman. This is just a clip. Tons of Steel. Terrapin All Stars featuring Scott Guberman.
It's a pretty dirty place, though. It's like, really.
No, that wasn't it. I'm going to try. It's not that one. I know I uploaded the Scott Guberman Tons of Steel clip, but it's just not showing up, and I'm sorry. 900,000 tons of steel, out of control. But yeah, it's just it's not there. All right, well then I'm gonna just stop rambling, and I've got some other stuff coming up. Like I say, come back in about 20 minutes or so, and we'll have a brunch set, Saturday morning brunch set, Stu Allen Electric Brunch from 6 years ago today-ish, July 19th, 2019. I believe that was actually a Sunday and not a Saturday, but it's still a Stu Allen Electric Brunch set, and that'll be streaming here live at about 11:15 Pacific Daylight Time. Let's see, any last minute question? Nope. All right. Well, anyways, thank you all for tuning in. This was kind of fun. I'm hoping to do this on a regular basis on Saturday mornings. One more Saturday morning. Did anybody guess who was the band with Phil in the clip? I'm going to play that clip one more time, and then we'll log out. This is this is what I worked on this morning rather than organizing my videos, was making this cool little intro clip. Okay. Anybody guess who that is? Diane. Oh, Diane gets it. Diane nailed it. Ross James. She knows me too well. All right, Diane, you're the winner. You got to get a bunch of Deadhead Land stickers. That was the prize I offered. Anyways, that was from October 14th. No, I'm sorry. I think it was October 19th. I'm getting all my dates confused. That was October 19th, 2014. Brooklyn Bowl, Las Vegas. The band was Stu Allen, John Kadlicek, Jackie Green, Phil Lesh, Joe Russo. I think it was back. Phil sometimes has too many guitar players. For some reason, I want to add, I think, John Schofield as well, though maybe he wasn't there the whole weekend, but I think he was. I think he came out during the second set. And Ross James was there just as kind of like, because he does a lot of stuff, part of the road crew there. But he sat in. And he sat in on One More Saturday Night. And the funny thing, I'll tell this story. Why not? I used to always try to get Ross James to do that song. Ross wasn't a Deadhead when he first started this whole thing. He still might not be, kind of, sort of. You can't not become one a little bit, since he plays Grateful Dead music all the time. And but it wasn't his background. And I used to always say, you should do One More Saturday Night. Like, that'd be a good song for you to do. I didn't tell him that most Deadheads kind of like diss on the song. I didn't let him know, because I like the song. I like a lot of stuff that people don't like, or people like to bitch about. But I would also always try to get him to play it like on a Thursday night. He used to always play Thursday nights, Ross James, Radio Galaxy, and various other bands, Ross James Cosmic Thursday. For some reason, he'd play Thursday nights at the bar in Terrapin a lot. And I try to get him to do it. He go, well, it's not even Saturday. I'm like, you don't have to do it on Saturday. It's a fun song. And he might have done it once before in the bar because I was constantly asking him to. But then for this Vegas show, he just came out as like the special guest in the middle of the set, really early in the first set, I believe it was. And he played here. I have the link right here even. He played, I thought I had the link. Oh, it's a Nugs show. You have to buy it from Nugs, the link. But anyways, he played One More Saturday Night, which everybody kind of rolled their eyes at because, Deadheads are sarcastic about that song sometimes. I like the song, but I guess I pranked him a little bit by convincing him he should play it, and he finally did with Phil and this amazing band. But then he's done it a few times since then. He does a lot of Grateful Dead really well. I love his Throwing Stones, his Samson. I like Ross James doing songs, and he'll be playing at Truckee, Keep on Truckee, and he's had number two. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not my place to announce, but congratulations, Ross, and Megan, and Oren. Anyways, so that's what that Ross James clip was, and I was trying to think of like finding the good One More Saturday Night to play with my little video clip, and of course I had to get the Ross James. So Diane, you won. All right, thanks everybody. If my video works, brunch set coming up in just a few minutes, and I'm Happy Cat most of the time. Drive safe, or better yet, don't drive at all. Just stay right where you are. More music coming up in just a little bit.